Hello, kids. This is day 4 of our Bible study reading with Pastor Emmy of Kingswood, London. I'm sure you guys have been enjoying the Bible story reading, so do let me know how it's going, and we'll continue to go and do this for as long as we can. So I sent this video to one of my high school mates, Ade, and she shared it with her kids. And one of her children to me sent me a question from day 3, which was about the beginning of sin. Now, don't forget, we're reading from the Bible storybook, God's Love for You. So Tumi sent a question. Tumi asked, how did the serpent know about the tree and what would happen when they eat the tree? I thought that was a very, very good question to me. So thank you very much for sending in that question. I had to call in some of my friends to kind of discuss that question actually, because one of the things you would notice to me is that the Bible is quite silent about how the serpent got to know that information. You see, but we can use our imagination a bit. The Bible says the serpent said to Eve, has God really said that if you eat, you cannot eat all the trees in the garden? So we can infer from that the serpent had heard from somewhere, or somebody had told him, or maybe the serpent was hiding in the shadows when God was speaking to Adam and telling him about all the trees in the garden and not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's also possible that the devil always wanted to be like God. That was his goal when he was chased out of heaven. And so you find that he was quite interested in being like God. And so when he was speaking to Eve, he said, God didn't really mean that. God knows that if you take of this fruit, that you will be able to discern good from evil and blessing from calamity. That was something the devil always wanted to do. So we can infer, even though the Bible is silent about this, that the serpent may have heard of this in the past, and the serpent was quite interested in getting Eve to believe that as well. And so Eve was convinced, she thought the fruit looked good, and she ate it. All right, so that's just to answer your question to me. Thank you very much for sending that question in. Today, we're going to be reading about Noah's big boat. All right, and this is based on Genesis chapter 6 to 7. Noah, God called. There's a flood coming, a big, big flood. It's going to wipe out everything. Towns, people, plants, everything. I want you to be safe, so build a very big boat. I'll tell you exactly how to make it. God was angry about the way people were behaving. They were selfish, they were mean to one another, and they didn't care at all about serving him. God had tried to get the people to listen to him and change how they lived, but no one paid any attention except Noah. He had always tried to obey God. That's why God wanted Noah to be safe from the big flood. And you can bring your family, Noah, God told him, but I also want you to bring animals. Animals? Wild animals? How many animals? Noah wondered. I want you to bring lots of animals. I'm sending 2 of every kind of animal on the earth to go into the boat. Take enough food for them and for your family, God said. Even though there wasn't a rain cloud in the sky, Noah got busy sawing and hammering to make the big boat exactly the way God had told him to. Not long after he finished building the boat, Noah heard the clump, clump, clump of a big parade of animals marching toward the boat. Noah stepped aside as every kind of animal in the world flew and hopped and stomped into the big boat. Then he and his family followed them inside. God shut the door of the big boat just as it began to rain. And it rained and rained and rained. When he saw the waters begin to rise, Noah took a deep breath and whispered a prayer of thanks for God's amazing protection. God was protecting Noah when he asked him to build the boat, because Noah was somebody who gave attention to God. Noah obeyed God, even though God's instructions were unusual. And God kept his promise to protect Noah and his family. Well, that's our Bible reading for today. Don't forget, if you've got a question, tell mommy and daddy to ask Pastor Emmy. Goodbye.